of a woman, and God is the head of Christ. This is from 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. And when the scripture says that the man is the head of a woman, it does not indicate the man's control or rather supremacy, but it indicates him being her source. I don't know if I'm making sense. It indicates him being her source. So this means that a man should be the source of his wife, or a man should be the source of his family. And now when you look at it, and let us look at it with this factor of provision. A man should provide for his family. He should be the source of the finances, and he should be the source of the shelter, food, clothing, anything that is needed by the wife and the children. And so the role of providing, the role of being a leader, falls squarely on the man. And in the scripture it also states that wife is a helper. The wife is a helper to the husband. And there has been a debate which has been going on for long, and people are asking and are still asking, why did our grandparents and parents' marriages last longer compared to the to our marriages, or marriages that have happened in the modern world? And allow me to use this one factor of provision. And you find that those days men knew their responsibility, and they really took up that role with much seriousness, and they knew that if I wouldn't provide, no one else would for my wife and for my children. And so they knew that it's either I provide or I provide. There was no any other option. So the men used to provide fully for their wives, fully. So they used to bring home things like livestock. They used to give funds to cultivate lands. So the man used to bring funds, and the wife used to manage the funds. That is by being a helper. He used to take care of the livestock, the children, and the farm, and any other thing that was bestowed on her. When we look at the modern world, women are empowered. So when the husband is living out of the house, the woman is also living for work. And so you find that especially in the early years of marriages, if it happens that the man has a financial crisis, or maybe his business is not doing quite well, he will state that my business is not doing okay, so I'm not in a position to pay school fees, or I'm not in a position to pay for this bill or rent. And so what most wives do, especially in the honeymoon phase, I don't know if it's because of the excitement and you need your house to run smoothly, what women do is they pick up that role of provision. They pick it up and they start footing all the bills in the house as they wait for the business of the husband to stabilize. But that is a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake, because what you should do, you should help, you should assist well in that situation. And you may ask, assist how? Because by assisting means that I will pay something, or I will pay for the bills. Yes, I'm in agreement with that. But you have to sit down, deliberate, and discuss that maybe I have some savings as a wife. I'll give you those savings, and you will invest in your business strategically. Like, you will invest in places where you know there will be a return, so that you are able to pick up your role in a month or two, or in a quarter year. So that is being a helper. But the moment your husband states that I'm not in a position to pay this and this bill, and you pick up that role, you pay for bills for 6 months, you pay for the bills in the first year, second year, third year, you will have done injustice to yourself and to your husband. Because what you do when you pick up the role of being the head of the house, you disable this man. because it's normal as a human being. If you know that everything is sorted out, you wouldn't stress on nothing. I mean, you wouldn't even put more effort in knowing where you'll get another source of income, or knowing how you will boost your business to make sales and be able to provide for your family. So you will disable your husband mentally. He won't think straight. Like, he won't have the burden of providing for his family, because he knows that even if I don't get any funds, my wife will cater for that. She has been providing for 6 months, for a year. So I'm guaranteed that everything else will run smoothly in the house. So what should you do? I know you're asking yourself, what should you do when you get to that point? When I look at my parents' marriage, I remember when I was a teenager, that's when now I would understand things, and maybe even ask myself some question, and maybe I would need a revision book, and I would tell my mother that I need a revision book, and she would tell me that your father will get that for you. And I used to ask myself, why is this woman so self-centered that she can't use her own money to purchase a book for me, yet I'm still her daughter? But it's up until I got into marriage myself, it's up until I got to this age, that's when I'm joining the dots. What was happening then? What was happening is, this woman did not pick up the role of his husband because he was still able to provide. He left that role unattended to because the head of the house was still able to provide for his family. And my dad used to provide fully. And you may ask, if my mother had a business and it was doing well, where did she take the funds? And I will tell you something, that there are times when my dad had some financial crisis, and my mother would assist during those periods. Maybe during that, like when I was in campus, she settled my fees, like in the third year, second semester, she did that. But after that period, my dad was able to get some finances and pick up his role and continued to provide for us. So that's what I'm talking about. If we only knew, or if we only followed what the scripture or the holy book states about the role of a wife and that of a husband, marriages would last, and marriages would last for eternity. But what we are doing right now, we are being guided by our feelings, or the empowerment that women have had, or what the modern world is teaching or training us. But at the end of it, people are reaping bitter fruits, because you find that a woman picked up this role in her second year of marriage. So she has been paying these bills because the husband still claims that he's not in a position to foot all the bills. So when you get to the third, fourth year, this wife has another added role of being a mother. She has offspring to look and take care of, you see. And it gets to a point when this woman reaches a breaking point, and she starts becoming resentful to her husband, because she'll sit down and think, if I'm doing what I was doing while alone or while single, I used to pay all my bills, and in fact, being married, I've been added another role of taking care of a husband and taking care of my children. So if I'm doing all this alone, then why do I need him? And that's why you find that most people are breaking or separating because of this issue of finances. So if you're not married, please know your position before you enter into marriage, as a wife and as a husband. As a wife, you're supposed to be a helper. As a husband, you are the leader, the head of the house. You are to know, you are to draft your vision on a vision board and take it to your wife and tell her that I plan to do this and this, In 3 years, this is what I need us to do. In 5 years, this is where we will be. That is being a leader. And yes, let's stop it at there. And on this platform, Dance Your Pain Away, this is where I share some life nuggets to help you navigate through life issues and to help you dance your pain away in most, if not all, aspects of life. So follow me on all my social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Yes. Cheers.